and we're going to talk a little bit about money, a little bit about gold, silver, and how to prepare yourself, especially if you're young, especially if you're young and going along, trying to get along. But I find it quite comical. There is a blackout power outage going on right now in Spain, Portugal, and it's honestly quite funny because what just happened? What just happened in the Catholic Church? We see that the Pope died, and thank God the Pope is dead and gone. He can't harm anymore, that evil, corrupt person. But this is to be expected that something was going to happen, and what they're experiencing right now is just it's just hilarious. It really truly is just hilarious to think that just because the power goes down, people are freaking out like it's the end of the world. Ooh, and I gotta size this up to a size 8, like it's the end of the world. And that has some things to do with Christians, especially younger Christians. If you're a little bit older, if you're a little bit older, it's not going to necessarily affect you. Well, it shouldn't be affecting you the way that this power outage affects the youth, because the youth has grown up with digital communications all their life. They don't know what it's like to go outside and touch grass. They don't know what it's like to go without. Now, also, the youth are kind of blessed in some senses as well too, because they have the energy to put into preparing for what's coming around the corner. There's a lot of things that Christians are not prepared for. Not all. There are some that are preparing and ready for. Okay, that's a diamond. Prepared and ready for, as far as being prepared with food, water, shelter, money, and that's the funny part about all of this right now is that people cannot pay for things over there in Spain. They're rushing to go get cash out of the ATMs, and businesses are having a hard time even just charging the people at their shops. But what can circumvent all of that? What can circumvent all of this worry and frustration and help you out in a time of need? It's going to be silver. It's going to be gold. You know, you get a little bit of this, and you can still pay for things even with the lights shut off. You have a little bit of gold. You can pay for things even if the lights get shut off. You go into a shop, right, and you give them a little gold bead. That's money. That's value. You give them a ring. I mean, no one's gonna pay you for this stupid diamond. Diamonds are worthless. Or a little bit of chain. Go buy your milk and eggs. No problem at all. But the second, even dollar bills a little bit right now too, right? You can still buy things with the dollar, whatever currency that country uses. But digital currency, nah, you're not going to be able to get much of that. And then also with the paper currency too, I don't think people are prepared or they understand, because I don't think a lot of people max out their ATMs uh, on their withdrawals. Because when you go to an ATM, do you usually try to max it out or see how much money you can pull out? Most people don't. Let me get this camera over here. There we go. That way I can probably talk to the camera. There we go. All right. Most people don't. Most people just get out 20, 40, 100, 200 bucks. You know, that's a question is that I would like to see if you guys know is for the majority of ATMs out there, what's the max that your ATM will allow? So the that should work. Yeah, we'll just do that and hammer it out. Hammer it to what it needs to be. Well, the answer to this question, if you haven't figured out by now or Googled it or anything, most ATMs will only let you get between $500 and $600 a day. So if you're working strictly just on cash and you have to go pay rent and the banks are closed or you're not able to do a digital transaction, but the ATMs are working and you have to pay rent or you have to pay your mortgage or your car note or anything of the sort, right? Then you have to prepare a couple days before. 500 today, 500 tomorrow, 500 the next day, and another 500 the following day to equal $2,000 to be able to pay your bills. So, but if you have been working off of cash for a while now, then it's just a normal day. The power goes out. It's just a normal day. Here's your cash. Oh, you can't ring me up? Okay, no worries. You go and move on. You know, there's a funny realization that you go through when you make the conscious decision to stop using credit cards or debit cards to pay for anything. When you finally stop altogether using that form of payment, then you start seeing in the world what you're actually able to do and what you're not able to do. The drawbacks and the frustrations that it causes. So I highly suggest that one, people do get off digital currency. If you're on digital currency, it's just a matter of a blackout before you're not able to pay for anything. And if you don't have any precious metals, you're not going to be able to buy anything. And if you don't have cash, you're not going to be able to buy anything. And most of these kids are dimwits anyway, that you're also not probably going to be able to get change because most kids don't know how to break change anymore. It's crazy. But, you know, the people that are struggling here in the world, and I'm just going to be blunt about it, but the people that are struggling here in the world are the people that don't have the true God of this world or the true God of this world. Yeah, that's correct. I was going to say, well, he's not the God of this world because the prince of the air, thinking about the devil right now. But yeah, no, he is the God of this world. He's just not. He's just not in charge of this world right now because we're waiting for our Messiah to come. But the people that are struggling are the ones that are not chasing after God, the real God of this world. And so when we see Spain suffering through this blackout, and this is also another point to satellites aren't real because these blackouts, I believe there's things that orbit in the air, but as far as intergalactic space or space missions, no, it's all fake. But our telecommunications, still 99% of our telecommunications come through underwater cables, not satellites. Think about that for a minute, because people are going without. Oh, it kind of cracked right there. I got to repair all that inside too. That sucks. But people are losing their communication right now. They're unable to talk on the phone, make phone calls, get online. I think it's a great and glorious thing. But it's also nice to go online as well too. But it doesn't really matter either way to me. I'd personally love to see it all burn, but I got a mission, so it helps me with my mission at least. Oh, so they're not able to. Oh, let's put that back. So they're not able to go online or make phone calls or anything of the sort. Now, just take a second to think about that. If this was just a normal blackout, why would it affect telecommunications? Especially if you believe in a globed Earth, and you believe that satellites give our telecommunications. One, you're an idiot and a moron. Two, you need to find Jesus, and three, you're lost. But oh, I forgot where I was going with this. I'm over here looking at this ring saying, dang, I didn't think I was going to have to do this much repair. We got to shut down shop right now. But most of our telecommunications is brought to us via not satellites, but underwater cables. Underwater cables. So the the stuff that is going on in Spain right now, it makes you wonder what truly causes. Is that just water? Dang, I'm trying to finish this ring right now. And it's fighting me because I have a dinner date with my wife. But they're having all kinds of different problems over there in Spain, and they're. Did water get into my alcohol? Water got into my alcohol. That's not good. How did that happen? Okay. All right. Let me see. I don't got too much time left. But they're dealing with a lot right now, and it's not surprising because the Pope did just die, and everyone has been doing the ritual and going around and praising him, worshiping man and not worshiping God. So it's not surprising that stuff is going to happen. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if more stuff doesn't happen because we have people, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people going to the body, the dead body of Pope Francis. I think it's Pope Francis, right? I know Pope Francis of Assisi died a while back, but everyone's going to the Pope and worshiping man. They're not worshiping God. And so there's going to be a lot of crazy things that are going on. And I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if this was a strategical advancement of people against another people, if you catch my drift, or if it was maybe possibly AI, or just an act of God. For me, it kind of seems more of an act of God than anything nefarious. Because God still works in this world right now, and He still has wrath, and He still has anger, especially to those that are intentionally breaking His commandments, intentionally practicing witchcraft. And remember, talking to the dead is a form of witchcraft, and it's evil, and it's pagan. And so, what do Catholics love to do? They love talking to dead people. Those little witches. Catholics are pagans. Catholics are pagans. And they practice witchcraft. They love witchcraft. Sage and all that stuff. Holy water. So it really does not surprise me that Spain and Portugal really are going through some stuff right now, because it's what do you expect? You te- you test God. God's gonna show you that He's real. He doesn't necessarily have to end anyone's life, but He definitely does things to try to call out to people. And I think that this is honestly a very subtle way of God trying to tell everyone, I am the Lord your God. Worship me. Look at the things that I can do to you. And I don't think that anyone's really understanding that right now, because the way I see it, and I could be wrong, but this looks more spiritual than anything, honestly. Yeah, it could be nefarious as well. So there is always that aspect. But this seems to me as if God's just calling out, saying, worship me, not that evil man, not the Pope. So do with that with what you want, wherever it guides you and leads you, may it lead you and guide you. But just understand that God is real. God is still working in this world. And things do happen. But it is quite comical as well, too, because people aren't able to pay for anything. They're not able to buy anything. And it's all because they're lost in the sauce of digital money. I mean, why, you know, why carry, why carry this, why carry this when we have, when we have cars, when we have memberships and stuff like that, right? Or when you got your phones to pay for everything, or your watches to pay for anything. And then the world will also tell you, don't buy gold. Don't buy digital farts, right? They'll tell you don't buy gold. And people don't understand that these little beads right here in my hand, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then I still got more over here. These 25 beads is going to be over $1,000 in cash, in currency. These are 22 karat beads, 22 karat beads. So when you have jewelry, I mean, granted, I'm different because I make jewelry, so I don't pay premiums. I just buy metal if I ever want to make anything. Not everyone has that luxury. But if you're going to invest in anything, just to try to save your money, just to try to protect our families or our children, you get a little bit of jewelry. I take this bracelet off, cut a couple links off. If you get some shears, cut some links, give it to the gas station attendant. Go buy some gas. Go to Albertsons or Smith's or Rayleigh's or Aldi's or Publix or Food Lion. Here's a gold ring. Can I get all this grocery? I need these steaks. I need all of this, right? Precious metals. Cash works, but everyone now, because of the blackout, is rushing to ATMs. And this goes back to what I stated in the beginning. Do you know the limit on ATMs? How much cash can you get from the ATMs? When was the last time you went into the bank and tried to withdraw over $5,000, $10,000? It'd be very interesting if you're blessed enough to have a decent amount of cash. Let's say you have $20,000, just for fun. Go to your bank, ask them for $10,000, and see how much of a problem that is. Go in and ask them for $20,000 cash. See how much of a problem that is. Go to your ATM. Try to withdraw the limit. Most limit, like I said, is 500 to 600 a day, and then it shifts. Right, the next day you can get another 500 to 600. But ATMs can run out of money. So if there's a blackout, how are you going to get that money? If we live on a digital system, we obey the digital rules. When we live the way that God wants us to live, we obey His rules. God does say that His comfort is, oh man, what is the line specifically? His comfort is overbounding. I forget. Someone's gonna have to correct me on that, right? Uh, but he leads us by still waters and lays us down in green pastures. I fear no evil, for thy is my rod and my staff which comfort me. Psalm 23. And so this is true. But God does work with gold, and He does recognize silver as well too. Doesn't recognize any other currencies. So, you use that to your benefit to protect ourselves. Now, I say that this is only for Christians because if you're worldly, you're not going to understand. Go play with your Bitcoin, go play with your digital currencies. That's fine. There is value to it, but it's the value of the world. And that is worldly thinking. It's not godly thinking. So, if you want to be a Christian, if you want to follow God a little bit more closely, read the Bible, look up what it says about silver and gold, and just don't be stupid with it. Don't fall in love with it, but understand and you can enjoy the benefits of gold and silver. Remember, it's not money is the cause of all evil or the root of all evil. It's the love of money. So, if you love God, you can go for money. If you are in love with money, you're not in love with God. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I got to go help the people pack up, and then I got dinner date with my beautiful, wonderful wife, and I'll be paying cash. Love you guys. God bless.